Hi, my name is makayjanai and welcome to my channel. I graduated from the University of Alabama with a bachelor's degree in communication studies, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about work-life balance. So let's get into the video. So I've been looking for a job recently. I have been on the market. I have been going on LinkedIn, applying for jobs, Indeed, anywhere you can look for a job. I've been looking for a job. I've been looking everywhere. And so in the meantime, while I'm looking for this job, I have been thinking a lot about work-life balance. You may be asking, what is work-life balance? What is that? Work-life balance is how you distribute your time between your personal life and your professional life. And I think that this is a very important topic that everyone needs to learn how to do. Everyone needs to learn how to balance their time, because there are so many jobs, especially if you're new to the job market, that will work you until you burn out. And when you burn out, you're no good to anybody, not yourself, not to your company, not to your coworkers, nothing. So I want to give you a couple of tips on how to have a great work-life balance. Statistics from Hubstaff say that 33% of people say that perfectionism is the cause of their work-life imbalance. I can attest to this because I myself am a perfectionist. I will work and not take a break because I want to make sure that the task given to me is done right. Also, as a recovering people pleaser, I know that it's hard for me to say no. So if someone asks me something that I know that I'm not able to do, in the past, it's been hard for me to say, oh yeah, of course, I can do that. And it's become such a habit that if someone were to ask me to do something, my automatic response is, yeah, of course, or yeah. And then I go back and I think about it, I'm like, oh, why did I say yes to that? Because I know I don't have time to do that, or that's gonna put a strain on me doing this, or I forgot I had this, which is why I am a planner. I plan things out so I can look at my schedule and be like, instead of directly saying no immediately, I can be like, let me check my schedule and then I'll get back to you. And if I can't do it, then I can say no. And if I can, then I can say, yeah, of course I can do that. But that is one of the causes of a work-life imbalance. So I don't want it all to be on the fact of work, because some people do overwork themselves and they end up draining themselves. So they're not giving 100%. They're giving more 50% or 10% or even like 75% of themselves to the job and not getting anything done. They're not working to their best selves. Sometimes your work-life imbalance could be that you go out and you party too much, or you don't work enough. At work, you're lollygagging with your coworkers, you're not doing your job. And that is also an issue, because if you were hired to do something, you should do it. You should not leave the slack for other people, like those people pleasers, like those perfectionists that are going to pick up your slack because that's just who they are. A work-life imbalance isn't only affecting workers. They're not only affecting the people that are the employees, but the employers are being are being affected as well. The same website that I researched, I'm going to link it down below, so if you want to look at these statistics yourself, you can, say that unscheduled sick days, often due to burnout, can cost the company from $2,500 to $4,000 per person per year. That is a lot of money that a company is losing because people are being burned out at their company. And it's sad because only 23% of companies think that they have that they encourage a good work-life balance. What's happening to the other 80-something% that is not encouraging a work-life balance? What happened to them? I just don't want to go into a work for someone that does not have my best interests at heart and that all they think about is their company. I've given you some statistics. I've talked about why it's important to me. And now I'm going to tell you 5 tips to take into account to have a better work-life balance. So my first tip is, when you're not at work, don't work. Is it that simple? Yes, it is absolutely that simple. That means do not answer work emails on your days off. Don't answer phone calls for work. I would encourage people to get a separate phone. Now, I know that's not in the cards for everyone, especially if you're just starting out. You probably don't have the funds to get multiple phones, but on your iPhone, you can do the do not disturb, where you can put it in different focus settings. So you can have like a work focus. Okay, if I'm at work, only these people are allowed to contact my phone. When I'm not at work, these people are not allowed to contact my phone. So you can do that. That is a cheaper option because if you already have an iPhone, it's free for you. If you do have it to get multiple phones, I say get a work phone and get a personal phone. If you work from home, create yourself an office. Your bedroom should not be where you do your work. Let's say you have a 1-bedroom, maybe the living room, maybe the kitchen, maybe it needs to be a space where you don't sleep. You should not be sitting in your bed doing your work. And I know it's so comfortable. They have all these little desk things that you can put on your lap and get to work. It's so convenient. There's so many ways to make it work, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it should work. It's always good to remember that when you're not at work, you're not being paid. You are not paid to work when you're not at work. So you should not be working off the clock because that is free labor. My next tip is to say no. I mentioned this earlier. It is so hard to say no, especially if you are a people pleaser. First of all, we need to get some healing. You need to get some therapy. You need to read some books. You need to learn how to say no. If you can't do it, somebody else will. And a lot of the times you are that somebody when somebody else says no. If somebody in a company says no, and then at the last minute they're asking you, then guess what? Somebody else told them, no, I couldn't do it. I already had this plan. And now you are willing to give up your plans, everything that you prepared for, everything that you wanted to do this. Everybody else said no. Not you, not you. You're the trooper. You're the person that's staying to the end of the day, coming in early, leaving late. Yeah, people want that, but you can't give that 110% of the time. You have to be able to say, no, girl, no. No, ma'am, I cannot stay. What are they gonna do? Fire you? They might. No, I'm joking. They're not gonna fire you. But I mean, they might, but do you really want to work somewhere where you gotta choose between living a life and working your butt off? No, you don't. Anyways, next. I want everyone out there that is a people pleaser to know right now that is the only people that are mad at you for setting boundaries are the ones that benefit from you not setting those boundaries. Which at the end of the day, nobody can read your mind. Nobody knows what's going on with you. Nobody knows what's going on with your life, which is why communication is important. You don't have to tell all your business, but what you do have to do is communicate when you know it's probably best that I don't get put on this project because I know that I'm not going to have the time to do it. I do think such and such is maybe a better person to put on the project. You don't have to offer somebody else up, but you can definitely say when you don't think that it's the right idea for you to be over something that's going to cost you too much time, cost you too much of your energy, that you know that you already have this going on and that going on, and you're already working on this and that and whatever. So you have to be able to say no. If you know you have work in the morning and your friend said, hey girl, guess what? It's Wine Wednesday. It's Taco Tuesday. We're going out. We're doing this. Are you coming? Are you coming? And you know yourself. You know if you go out, you're going to be out all night. You should be telling your friends, no. Hey girl, I got an appointment in the morning. I have to work in the morning. I can't go. I wish I could, but I can't go. You don't even have to say you wish you could if you don't wish you could. But it's so much better to say, no, I can't do it, girl. But let's do a rain check. When's another time that we can hang? I'm off such and such day. First, you're saying no to your friends. You're saying no to yourself. You know that starting a new season of Love is Blind and binge watching all episodes of that season, when you know you have to be up for work in the morning, when you know you have an assignment due, when you know you have something to do in the morning, is not the best decision. So what are you doing? Turn off your TV. Go to bed. I know some people need some noise in the background. Put on some brown noise. Put on some white noise. Put some, I don't know, all the colored noises. Maybe you need to turn on you a show that you don't have to watch. You don't have to look at, just for the sound in the background. But don't start a show you've never seen and watch it to the end of the season, knowing you have stuff to do. Here's the thing about streaming that I love so much. It's not like the olden days when a show would come on, and if you don't watch it that day at that time, then you can't see the show until another rerun comes on, and who knows when the rerun is gonna come on, right? You could actually pause the TV, rewind, fast forward, save for later. You don't even have to start the show just yet, but the show's gonna be there. My next point is plan in advance. In my last video, I told you that I am a planner to my core. I plan. If it's something to be done, it's something to be planned. Plan your vacations in advance. I know that most companies, you get a certain amount of vacation days. Let's say you get 2 weeks vacation days, and you can use them, split them up however you want. Well, if you know, okay, I want to go on a big family trip, I'm going to plan a year in advance. Even if you plan 6 months out, that's a good amount of time. If you have PTO, you already put in your PTO for then. Nobody can come to you and say, hey, can you say, I already put in my PTO. I've been planning this for the company. The more that your company knows, the more flexible they can be with you. If you let them know in advance, I'm not gonna be here around this time, they're not gonna assign you a job where the deadline is during the time that you're gonna be away, or where the presentation or whatever is during the time that you've already planned away. They're gonna assign it to somebody else who will be available in that time. Plain and simple. You have to plan. You may look at this and be like, I'm giving up so many great opportunities. But if you don't have time for it, you don't have time for it. What are you to do? My next tip, take your breaks. I don't know how this works everywhere, but I'm just gonna talk about what I do know. If you have a 15-minute break, don't keep taking notes, don't keep working, take your break. Sit down and take a break. Take a breather, breathe, relax, put away all of the work stuff, even step out of the room if need be. Go to the break room, go somewhere where you're not working. If you need to go for a walk, if you need to do something where you're out of the mind space of work, then that's what you need to do. Because if you're not taking your break, that's literally on nobody else but yourself. I know that there may be some people, there may be some bosses that want to encourage you to work through your breaks. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a scam. It's a scam. And that will help you burn out even more. By the end of the day, you'll be tired because you didn't get a break. Take your 15s, take your 30s, take your breaks. Give your brain a rest. Take some deep breaths. Do what you got to do. You, like I said before, and I've said a million times, you know you more than anybody else. You know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Last tip. Okay, guys, we made it. Almost to the end of the video. My last tip is to have better time management. You have to have good time management. Why am I saying this? Because if you are distracted, how are you supposed to get anything done? Limit your distractions. There are 2 methods. So I have been calling this the Pompatelli method because I didn't know what it was, but it's called the Pomodoro method. So there's this tomato, and I'm gonna put a picture of it here. There's this tomato that looks like, it's a timer that looks like a tomato, and the type of tomato is called a Pomodoro. What this does is you put on a timer, let's say you started with 30 minutes. 30 minutes of you working nonstop, and you work, and you work, and you work. And then the timer goes off. You give yourself a 5-minute break. You can even do a 30-minute break. I would recommend a 5-minute. For me, 5 minutes work. I need 5 minutes to breathe and then get back to work. And then once you get in the groove of things, so you can turn the timer off, or you can just keep doing 30 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 30 minutes on, however you want to do it. But for me, what works is once I get in the groove of things, I turn that timer off and I get to work, because any distractions will mess up my workflow. Another method, my friend came up with this method and I love it. She will write down everything that needs to be done on to-do list. Everyone that's in the room with her gets a sticky note. You write down what your top goal, the one thing that you want to get done. You can be working on a million things, but the one goal that you need to get done by the end of the day. She puts the sticky note on the wall, and then she puts Pac-Man on the wall. So you have a Pac-Man here and you have a bunch of ghosts. And every time you complete a task, you get to eat a ghost and you get 5 minutes off. And then you keep going. I love that. It works for me so much. It works. And it's also, it also helps that I'm in the room with her and she's working. So that helps me to work. But yeah, they said that the Pomodoro method is really good for people with ADHD. So for all of y'all with the Audii out there, it's supposed to be helpful for you all. To reiterate everything that I said today, when you're not at work, don't work. Say no to yourself, your friends, your boss. Plan in advance, take breaks, and manage your time better. These 5 tips are going to help you get a better work-life balance. And speaking of work-life balance, I have a little mini vlog of me going to some stores, looking at some more outfits, just so you all can get more into my personality and who I am outside of sitting in this room recording and talking. So I'm gonna insert that here. Okay, y'all, we are at my favorite store in the entire world. Ooh, my hair. Anthropologie, hold on. All right, we're at my second favorite store, it's on the same level as the other store. It's on the same level as the other store.
I'm in awe. Oh my God. You gon'
This is so...
And I just be setting stage, so let me get out the way.
Wearing more jewelry because currently all my jewelry is stored in a different state.
Because I know it ain't the power or the might, but the spirit. The soul is gonna know the truth every time I hear it. And I can't command my own name, because that's an interference. It'll take it from a home game. They're trying to sell tickets, and if ain't nobody showing up, it's really what you're fearing. And your heart is in the wrong place. Who is it you're hearing? Say all to Jesus. I surrender all to thee. I freely give. I will ever love and trust him in his presence daily.
Y'all have a great day. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. In the comments down below, you can put a green check mark if you watched all the way through. And also let me know what are some steps that you've incorporated before, and if you have any extra tips on work-life balance, go ahead and put that down there. I am still learning, just as y'all are learning. So any extra tips that you have, I would say throw them down there for me. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye, y'all.